and I really just wanted his attention, and I really just wanted his love and affection. So I found myself often feeling left out and feeling like I was competing for his attention. And things would happen, like, I'd be like,
let's have sex. Like, I want to have sex. I haven't had sex with you in a minute.
And then he'd be like,
oh, I can't. I just had sex with so-and-so.
So-and-so being his other girlfriend. And that sucks. That sucked for me. Because all I really wanted was him. But it almost was like I was forcing myself into this dynamic. I'm really trying to stop myself from obnoxiously singing because I realized like I sing at the very beginning of just about every video because it just gets me going. It just gets me going. It gives me the oomph that I need to start a video. It's like the shot of espresso that I need to get my energy going to talk about whatever it is I'm going to talk about. So it's just weird for me to not sing. So that being said, psych, I was just kidding. I'm gonna sing anyway. Cause it's me. It's what I do. Let's just jump into the topic of the video. Your favorite itty bitty black alien. She came from her planet to talk about this earthly bull crap that's going on and hopefully give a unique and helpful alien perspective to earthly problems, and maybe perhaps she can help raise the consciousness of the planet with her unique alien-like perspective. Is polyamory sexually immoral? Is polyamory good for men? Is polyamory good for women? Oh, I forgot. I gotta give y'all the definition of the word polyamory before I go any further. Polyamory, or consensual non-monogamy, is the practice of having multiple intimate relationships, whether sexual or just romantic, with the full knowledge and consent of all parties involved. So, I'm pretty sure that I'm not the only person that has been noticing that there has been a rise in advertisement for polyamorous relationships. And it's getting to a point where it's being promoted so much. It's getting promoted a lot more than what it used to. And it's getting promoted in that way so much that I'm starting to feel that there's like an agenda behind it, like some type of diabolical hidden agenda. Yeah, I have a tendency to think that about a lot of things in the media. There has to be some people who's watching this video who's like, yeah, girl, me too. I would like to talk about my thoughts and my experiences with polyamory, my experiences being sexually and romantically involved with more than one person at a time, and how I really feel about that. My first time, I was giving it the old college try, if you know what I mean. At this point, I think I had only kissed one female. I had only had one sexual experience with a female prior to this. And so it was with me and a friend and his girlfriend, which was, I guess you could say, that's polyamorous, because we all, like the definition said, we're aware of each other. So there is not cheating, because both of us females knew that he was with the both of us. They were a couple first, and I kind of joined in. And then after everything went down with us and it wasn't really positive, I backed out. I was like, I don't want to be a part of that. We were in a relationship. I was not in a relationship with the female, mind you. I just wanted to be with the guy. I'm almost 28, and at the time I was 21. So I was very young. I had just lost my virginity, like I think a few months prior, or a year from that. I don't know. It wasn't even that long away from that experience. So I was very new to sex. I was very new to all of it. So I was a college student. I was a baby. I was just trying to explore and see what was out there, you know? And so I really liked this guy. He was my type. And we got along really well for the most part in the beginning. And he had a girlfriend. And I had a crush on him. And then I found out that he had a girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know that he had a girlfriend when I first met him. I met him through some friends. It was like a friendship kind of thing. And I had a crush on him. And then he showed interest in me at the same time. He showed interest back. And then come to find out, he had a girlfriend. And I was so young-minded and naive that I just went with it. And I was like, okay, he has a girlfriend. Well, I really wanted a boyfriend. At the time, I hadn't really had a real boyfriend. So I was just really excited to just have male attention. Because I was just fresh out of virginity, you know, young-minded, naive, little college sophomore. And I just wanted the experience. And so, mind you, y'all, looking back on it, like, I wouldn't really do any of this stuff nowadays. I'm talking about this because I'm a lot more comfortable with it, because I know for a fact that I'm not the same person and I really wouldn't do the same stuff. Looking back on it, the way that he went about it definitely was deceitful, because when he was involved with me, he didn't tell her. So this was a very premature polyamorous relationship. I don't think the word polyamory was in my mind, or it might have been, but it wasn't like a huge thing at the time. I was just experimenting and exploring because I was new, fresh off at school, and I just wanted to experiment. So the dude got us on board with being with him at the same time. And let me tell y'all, it was torture. It actually was torture. Because I just wanted him. I was just naive little girl. Like, it's crazy how at the time, like, you wouldn't think that you're a little girl. Even 23, I wouldn't have considered myself to be a little girl. But now that I'm almost 28, I'm like,
yeah, I was a little girl.
And I really just wanted his attention. And I really just wanted his love and affection. So I found myself often feeling left out and feeling like I was competing for his attention. And things would happen, like, I'd be like,
let's have sex. Like, I want to have sex. I haven't had sex with you in a minute.
And then he'd be like,
oh, I can't. I just had sex with so-and-so.
So-and-so being his other girlfriend. And that sucks. That sucked for me. Because all I really wanted was him. I didn't want the girl. I wasn't even attracted to the girl. I didn't really even like her like that. Like, she was cool as a friend, but we didn't even really click that much as friends, you know? So I really just wanted him. You know what I'm saying? I was forcing myself into this dynamic because I was so desperate and insecure and naive.
And I would never do such a thing nowadays. Like, come on, girl.
Like, trying to insert yourself in an already developed relationship, like, they should be ready for you. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to do polyamory, if you're going to be that third wheel that comes in, they should be ready for you. They should already have it in their mind that another female is coming in. They should be mentally prepared for you. So I learned from this experience. And over time, it just wasn't fun. I felt unloved. I felt ignored. Mind you, the dude was an asshole. So that's a huge part of it. You know, he was an asshole and he was just using me. You know what I'm saying? And at the time, I was young and naive and I didn't know it. I saw the red flags, but I swept them under the rug. And so I was in this forced polyamorous relationship. And from that experience, I would say that if you just really don't want to be polyamorous at heart, but you do it, you're not going to enjoy it. I feel like there are better ways to go about polyamory, but I just didn't have the knowledge. So that's one experience. And then the other situation, this is the second situation, where it was with a friend and her boyfriend. And I I think this was the second time ever in my life that I had ever eaten a female out. And I really enjoyed it. Like, I really, really enjoyed it because she was my friend, but I had a crush on her. I was very, very sexually attracted to her. She was this beautiful, dark-skinned black girl with a big old booty. She was curvy. She had, you know, locks and these, you know, fierce light brown eyes. And she was just very attractive to me. And we had a spiritual connection. And I ate her out and I really enjoyed it. And looking back at that threesome, I just really wanted her. It's always like that, you know. It's like you either want just one person or you don't want either one and you really just want to go home. And these are just all my experiences from when I was younger and I was just out here wilding, just experimenting, being free, just seeing what was out here. Like, you know, I grew up kind of sheltered and I was a goody two shoes, bookworm, teacher's pet type of person. So I definitely went through a rebellious phase to kind of break out of that, you know, and trust me, I broke out of it. What did I learn about myself and about polyamory from these experiences? Well, I definitely learned that I can't desensitize myself in order to be polyamorous. I can't ignore how I feel. Like, if you're going to be polyamorous, you need to know how you feel, and the people that you're polyamorous with, they need to know how you feel. You need to know how they feel. A lot of communication needs to happen. The reality of it is that through all of that polyamory, somebody got jealous. And that's what a lot of people who prefer monogamy, that's what they'll say. Like, I can't do an open relationship because I'm going to get jealous. Somebody's going to get jealous. And it's the truth. It's a good story to tell, but it's not something that you should just have a lifestyle out of. You know, you just shouldn't have a lifestyle of just you having a bunch of different people in your bed. You know, that really shouldn't be a lifestyle. Personally speaking, I don't think that that's something that I should do for myself. You know, I feel like that's what I'm going to say. I'm not judging anybody else if they want to do the polyamorous thing, if you want to have a bunch of sexual partners. And some people really need that. You know, some people really need a lot of attention. Maybe they didn't get enough attention in their childhood or whatever. Maybe that's how they get it. And I'm not knocking you if it really makes you feel fulfilled. But after my experiences, I kind of have this mindset. I have this giant question behind it all. Like, are any of these people in polyamorous relationships really fulfilled? Are they just faking it? Are they just pretending? Are the people in polyamorous relationships who get on camera and they smile and talk about, I'm in a polyamorous relationship? You know, they have these little specials of people in polyamorous relationships. And yeah, and I just watched this video posted by Matt Walsh from the Daily Wire. I really enjoy his content because he's funny. And I like when he talks about like societal stuff. And so there was this video that he covered on polyamory about this couple.
Oh my goodness.
Not this couple. Why did I say couple? This quadruple. Because actually it was more. Anyway, it was a woman and 4 guys, I believe. It was a woman and 4 guys all in a whole relationship. And it was a whole special on them. And the way that they promoted it, that's really where I started thinking there's some type of an agenda behind this. And I don't think that it's something that is meant to be helpful for humanity. Because it just, I don't know, it just gives off sinister vibes. It gives off creepy. It gives off like, why do y'all need to make a special about polyamorous? Why is this becoming so rampant? They now have, you know, stuff on the front cover of magazines. He mentioned that in a video, you know, and it's just apparently with that polyamorous relationship, you know, that Matt Walsh was talking about in his videos, apparently one of the boyfriends murdered her baby, the girl's baby, all because the baby was crying too loud and he couldn't go to sleep. So watch that video. That Matt Walsh video, he talks about it. His commentary will give you life. I love listening to that man talk. Like, he's very intelligent and very funny. And honestly, like, it really makes you think. Like, if this is a really healthy dynamic, why is it ending in that way? Why is it ending in murder? So what I also learned from these, I guess you could say, polyamorous, and y'all, don't take my little childish experiences in my 20s as legit polyamory, because that's really, to me, it's really not. I was just young and I was getting a taste of polyamory, but I don't know what it's like to have a full-on adult polyamorous relationship where everybody is mature and everybody knows what each other wants and it's really good, healthy communication and no one's insecure and jealous. And I don't know what that feels like. And to be honest, I'm not sure if it's even possible. But hey, there's plenty of people out here that do polyamory, and I don't know if they're happy or not. You would have to ask them. So from my experience though with polyamory, it really stops you from really fully getting to know one person. You can't really get to know one person and give your all to one person if you have another person that's calling you on the phone, vying for your attention, vying for your love and affection while you're talking to somebody else who's also vying for your love and affection. The question that I have to ask, because I'm still curious about polyamory, because I've never actually done it long term. I've only had these little childish little flings. So my question when it comes to polyamory is this: is the love really wholesome if you're only giving half of it to one person and then half of it to another person? Is it really wholesome if you're giving a quarter of that to this person, a quarter of that to that person? Can it really happen? You know what I'm saying? Can you really have a truly fulfilling polyamorous relationship where you feel totally and completely loved for who you are, and where you're able to give total and complete unconditional love to your partners and everybody involved just feels satisfied? Because in my opinion, if you're satisfied, why do you keep seeking more partners? That's just my questions. This video is not to knock polyamory, but I do have my concerns. I do kind of look at polyamory like, I don't know if this is really a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know if this is really healthy or unhealthy. I just know from my experience that polyamory for me was not fulfilling, and it was not helpful, and I did not feel loved. And from experience of being in 3 monogamous heterosexual relationships, I've had 3 boyfriends in my life. And then I've had the situationships and the flings and just, going through the talking stage and just being a little bit intimate, but not having sex or whatever it is. I've had my situationships, but I've only really been in like 3 heterosexual monogamous relationships. And from those experiences, the question is, what is that person that you're with lacking that you feel that you need to go and find it in somebody else? It makes, in my mind, I'm thinking the original monogamous pairing is unfulfilling and that y'all are not compatible, and so you're trying to get more of something from somebody else, and y'all think that it's just y'all having fun. It's just, we're just free, we're just a sexually liberated group of people, and but why do you keep looking for more relationships? Why do you keep looking for more sex if you're fulfilled? So I'm going to ask this question. So this is all from my personal perspective. Is polyamory worth pursuing? My answer to that from my experiences is, all I can say is, if you're going to be polyamorous, please do it with mature people. And please make sure that you are being mature. Okay? Please make sure that you are prepared to deal with fluctuating emotions and moods from multiple different people. Be prepared to deal with jealousy. Be prepared to deal with insecurity like a mug. Be prepared to deal with the feeling of being left out. And be very careful. Wear protection, because there are people who are doing polyamory, and to be honest, it kind of looks like an excuse to just be a hoe, to just be sexually promiscuous and not really have any consequences for it. And also, it looks like an excuse to not commit. And it's fine if you don't want to commit, but you want the love and affection and you want the sex, do you. But I feel that polyamory is something that it has to be done with high levels of maturity, patience, and wisdom. And you definitely have to have a lot of protection. Okay. But from my experience moving forward, as a woman who has the option to either pursue polyamory or to pursue monogamy or to just be single, I personally feel that I will feel more fulfilled in a marriage with a man. Yes, despite my sexuality, despite my experiences, despite everything, because of everything that I've been through with bisexuality, thinking that I was pansexual, all of that, polyamory, all of that, from those experiences, from my personal experience, I feel that I would feel most fulfilled being married to a man and being a wife and being a mom. That's how I feel. And hey, who knows? I might have this experience and change my mind. But that's just how I feel currently as a 27-year-old woman who has had 3 boyfriends, who has been involved with a lot of men, who has had a few flings with females. That's just how I personally feel. And obviously, there's a lot of people that's not going to feel the same way. And also, I'm going to say something that I'm pretty sure people in a polyamorous relationship, some of them may not agree, and they may be like,
oh girl, like, honey, like, what are you talking about?
But this is from my personal experience. All 3 of my relationships, I expressed that I wanted to be polyamorous. All 3 of my relationships, I wanted to include polyamory some way or another. I wanted to bring a woman in. Of course, when you bring that to a man, he's going to want to do that. And after my 3rd boyfriend, and I mentioned that to him, I regretted it. Because I put that idea in his mind. When we were first dating, we wasn't talking about polyamory. We wasn't talking about no threesomes. And I regretted it. Because I really actually felt very frustrated towards myself for always wanting to include polyamory in all of my relationships. And so it got to a point where, after everything was said and done, I'm like, I really need to stop mentioning that to my boyfriends, because it just makes me feel like, why do you even want another woman? Am I not good enough? And I honestly feel that the whole thing with polyamory and all of that and me wanting to have another woman in the mix, it really it doesn't make one feel secure. And I'm not even sure. I wonder to myself, are these desires from insecurity? You know what I'm saying? Because, and then it just makes you feel like, why can't you just allow a man to commit to you? You should make that demand. As a woman, you want to know that your boyfriend prioritizes you. And you should feel that way. And am I going to keep on suggesting that when I get married? And then I'm never going to know what it feels like to be the love of somebody's life because I'm giving that love to some strange female. And then I got to sit there and watch him have sex with her. It's just, I don't feel like I could ever feel loved. Because it's like I'm always giving that person to somebody else to the point where I never have a person on my own. And I honestly resent my mindset towards polyamory and threesomes and stuff like that. Because I never really was able to know if that person really cared about me. You know what I'm saying? Because I was doing all this in the name of sexual liberation and in the name of being free in my sexuality. And I just really didn't find peace, and I didn't really feel fulfilled with that mindset and bringing that to my boyfriends. Like, a woman just wants to know that her man just wants her. Sometimes you just want to know that. Because it's exhausting. You know, and then we gotta find the female, and I gotta make sure that she's compatible with us, and that she don't disrupt the peace and in the union, and that she's not gonna be jealous, and that she's not gonna
try to steal my man from me.
You know, it's just too much for me, personally. It's just too much for me. You know, and that's really how I feel about polyamory. And that's not to say that my mind might not. All I know is right now I ain't trying it. I ain't trying polyamory right now. You can miss me with the bull. You can miss me with that idea. All right. So, yeah, that's all I have for you all today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you have not subscribed already and you've watched like at least 2 or 3 of my videos, I got a bone to pick with you. We got beef. But we won't have beef if you hit that subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? All right, so I love you all. Love yourself and love life. Deuces!